Damn, dude.
What is good, everybody? Welcome to episode 80 motherfucking 6 of the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn, dude.
And for those of you people who are familiar with Rice Rockets, what engine was that? What car was that? Come on, you guys. What was that? You guys know. If you know, you know. I'm trying to think if I would have picked up on exactly what that was right from that. But if you don't know, that is a Toyota Corolla, an AE86. And the reason we use that is because the AE86 is a motherfucking badass car. And I pulled that from some YouTube thing of an AE86 revving up to its fucking respective 200 RPMs. Oh, shit. First of all, I'd like to apologize for this episode coming in late because the excuse doesn't matter. It's late. But I'll tell you what happened is that we had some major fucking technical difficulties. I sat down, recorded a whole 40, 50-something minute podcast, and I did not press record on the motherfucking computer. So I'm sitting here with sound effects and fucking microphone input and headphone input and all this shit, and the computer is like moving and the whole fucking whatever, right? And I'm like, hell yeah. And then I go to stop it and I come back and I click record again for my break, and I'm like, oh, bruh, I did not even record the first half of this. And so what I would have to do is pull the audio from the camera, combine it with the second half of the audio from the microphone. But what happens is it sounds like trash, dude. It sounds like straight trash. So I want to give out a special shout out to you breadwinners stacking yo righteous chips. Stack your rat chips, mine, because it's pretty righteous. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm thankful for everybody who follows and listens and supports and gives feedback and is just dope and is out to like better themselves. That's fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So what's cracking? Welcome. If you guys are new to the show, I am your host, California Cal, from San Diego, Mecca Town, Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
And I teach babies how to save their lives in the water. I'm the fucking best at it. I can teach anybody and babies specifically, and old people and people who have great fears of the water, how to overcome their fears and how to have skills appropriately in the water faster than anybody else. And I challenge anybody who considers themselves a master swim teacher of these babies. Let's go, babies. What's good? I challenge you. Let's go. Like on some like kung fu dojo type shit. Like, come on, homie. Let's go, bro. Like, dude, my reasons for why I do what I do are just different. So let's go. No, sometimes I'm just talking about shit. I got two kids, a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old, Nathan and Royal. They're my little squad. I tell Nate, like, bro, like, this is family, dude. We rep this like a gang. Like, if you ever hear gangbanging stuff in music, just replace all the words with family. Replace the meanings with family. You know, and I was like, this is how you can listen to music that's not necessarily that great for you, but apply it in positive ways. You know what I'm saying? Take that anger, take that like, fuck this, fuck that, and put it into certain things that grow our lives to be better. So, because this is episode 86, I was talking about, so this is hard because I feel like I already did the episode already, but I still wanted to cover some of the shit I was talking about. So if you hear me like laughing at myself, it's because I'm like, oh, I already said that, or I said it better, or I'm saying it better. Oh, whoa, I almost just say shit. I tried to adjust myself on my chair and I just like whacked my toe. No, but it's funny because we're going to call this 86ing negativity and excuses. And this is one of those things I forgot exactly where it comes from. It's one of those things where I've read it and I know, or I've learned it or whatever. I shouldn't say read it, but I learned where it came from and then I forgot. So if somebody was like, oh yeah, this is what it is, I would be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So there's information that I don't necessarily know, but if it was said, I would remember it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's weird how there's memories like that. Anyway, it's getting 86th. Like, I remember when I was going clubbing and stuff back in the day, like fucking, I'm talking like Stingery on Broadway, fucking, I'm forgetting all the names of everything else at the moment, but that era, if you know those, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Like what else was there? Like Red Circle. That place was ghetto. No, was that it? Or was Red? It was ghetto, dude. It was hella ghetto. And it was interesting because back in the day, and it's funny because I almost said this and I realized that it's like not normal anymore. But back in the day, it was normal to be like, oh, that's like the black club. That's the Asian club. That's where the rednecks go. That's where the gangsters go. And it's like, there was kind of like, different types of people went to different types of clubs, right? So it was like, I keep wanting to say Red Circle, Red something. It was like, it was hood, dude. But it was mainly like a black club, and there was a lot of Bloods there. But the thing is, like, anybody can go there. It just happened to be like primarily a black club. And that place shit always popped off, dude. Every time I would be even close to there, something crazy was happening. So I just started staying away from there. And then the whole place just kept changing, you know what I'm saying? But shit, back in Club Stingaree days, it was like, it kind of like turned into, so what I was saying was like, sorry, I kind of like got off topic. So you would also have like the redneck bars. What was it, like El Dorado? I think that's still there. That's like way farther down. But, and then there would be like, I'm like drawing a blank, dude. I was really fucking drunk a lot of times we were going out. But I remember certain clubs would get banged out. And I remember one time I was at El Dorado. I don't know. I think it was like a concert or something, or somebody was performing. I don't know if it was like Smoothie or Andre Nicotina, or it was like somebody kind of low key, but like their like audience is rowdy. Somehow this place is known for being like a full on like white people redneck bar. For whatever reason, it was packed with Asian gangsters this day. And like, back in the day, we used to like joke about this. Like, it wasn't taboo or weird to be like, oh, damn, then all the Asian fools showed up. Or be like, damn, all the black dudes showed up. Or be like, damn, then all the white people showed up. Or damn, then all the essays came out. Or the Mexicans came. Or like, you know what I'm saying? So if you hear me saying that, like, I'm just providing context. I don't need to explain anything, but I do understand. Like, I'll talk like this to whoever. But the thing is, I understand there's younger listeners and there's people who don't get it. So I'm kind of giving some context so you don't think I'm just on some crazy shit, right? We've gotten to a really fucking sensitive place in this world. So my point is, I went a long fucking way to get back to this, which is I used to get fucked up at the clubs and I would get kicked out and they'd be like, you're 86, bro. And I was always like, what the fuck? Nah, bro, I was born in 85, dude. Like, and then I didn't know, so it's like I figured it out. Again, I didn't take the time to look it up. I don't really care. I just know it means you get kicked out. And for whatever reason, I would always have this ability to act completely sober and be like, oh, I just walked my friend outside, and then walk back in the club and then start stumbling. And like, it was bad, dude. It was a disaster. So that's why we say we're 86ing negativity and excuses. It's like, we're getting rid of that shit. You're out of here, bro. So, dude, that kind of leads me to the next thing, which is who the fuck I am, which is I'm a dad, I'm a father. And it's a trip because it's not really like an identity that I wear or like I claim or something. Not that it's just not really an identity that I like identify with. Like, I am a father. I'm a badass father. I do my best, and I always do my best to come from a place where I don't put my fear onto my kids, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't put my bullshit into them. Like, I do because I can't help it at times, but at the same time, it's like I do my best, and I'm very aware and conscious of that happening a lot, sometimes, right? Well, I like to say a lot of the time, but I realistically probably sometimes. So I'm like, dude, realizing being I realized I kind of am resistant to being like, I'm a father, because like, I feel like it's this false sense of respect. And a lot of times it's like, I think the word father has been so diminished to what it means. Sorry, not father, but I should say a good father, a quality father has been so diminished at this point that like, we see shit, like if you guys saw the shit online with like DaBaby and his girlfriend arguing, like that's the way that a lot of people actually act and feel. And as a guy and how I talked about this accidental manipulation before, he was doing it in that video. If you guys watch how he's talking and the moment that he's recording, it's when she's going off and it's like he found this cool, like, oh yeah, it's all good. Like, if you've experienced that with a dude or a woman, you know exactly what the fuck is going on. And it's sickening. Like, it was sickening to me, not because I'm in a judgmental way, but because it reminded me of how I would act before. And I'm like, oh, it reminds me of myself that I've tried and have grown so much from. You know what I'm saying? So when I see that, I'm like, fuck, dude, like this shit needs to be broken. Like, this is why this podcast exists, because I keep seeing and hearing all these things, and I'm drifting from my point, but which is father. There's so much to being like, if you just provide money for your kids, people will consider you a good father. If you spend time or you like do fun activities which other people deem as exciting or cute, all of a sudden it makes you a good father. Like, I was posting videos of me skating and stuff, and I'm getting like a bunch of comments and stuff where it's like, wow, you're such a good father. And it's like, I appreciate it. Trust me. I'm not like being ungrateful, or it's not lost on me. Like, I get it. But I guess it makes me think, because I'm like, well, hold on. This is not the stuff where good parenting is happening. Like, this is me like on like the not really giving a fuck end of it. And maybe that is good parenting. But my thing is like, I feel like it's what's going on behind the scene that equals that outcome when we go out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like it's not the result of me and my kids doing something cool that makes me a good parent in people's eyes. I think, or what I guess what I would want it to be, or how I feel, is that it's not that, it's what we did that got us to that. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is that? Because when I was there was somebody else who was younger than me, and and he was a father also, and I judged his skating as better than mine because he's doing flip tricks and all this stuff, and he's like really clean and smooth. I'm like, damn, like he's getting really high and stuff. But like, we all have different skills in different places, right? So for me, I'm like comfortable going into the bowls and dropping in and doing all that stuff. So I would take my 2-year-old, I would take Royal, and I would stand him on the skateboard. I would hold his hands and I would drop in and I would pump around the whole track, or pump around the whole skate park with him. And then the other dude, like, he didn't know how to do all that, but he knew how to do other stuff, right? But the stuff that he knew how to do, it wasn't like he could take his kid with him and do it at the same time, you know? So I'm looking at him like, damn, well, I definitely can't fucking kickflip and tray flip and varial and do all the stuff the way that this guy was doing. And that's cool. But at the same time, I can go pump around pretty confidently, you know? That's cool. It's not a competition. It's just observations. So, but I saw that his kids were kind of upset because they, like, I guess because they weren't able to do that with him. Like, they were a little bummed out. Like, oh, can you like skate me around like that? He's like, sorry, bro. Like, I don't know how, you know? And it just made me think, you know, there's no judgment. Like, this guy was really, really fucking cool. Shout out to him. He's a really dope dude. And his kids are cool as fuck too. So I don't want this to come off like I'm talking shit or anything. What I'm saying is, though, is like, I observe things and I'm like, wow, I observe this guy as being a great dad. He's out here doing cool shit. And then I'm like, okay, well, I have to apply that to myself because I'm out here doing cool shit too. But then I see when it's like my kid's half the age, willing and knowing how and able to physically do stuff that these kids who are literally twice his age are just now figuring out. Now, there's other things. It's like my kid doesn't even talk yet. You know what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of other kids who are way younger who talk way more. And I mean, that's a whole different thing. It's like the kid's learning 3 languages. You know what I mean? Or 4 technically, if you count sign language as a language, you know, Chinese, English, Spanish, and sign language. And a little bit of Japanese here and Tagalog here and there. But my point is that, like, there was so many hours of me and Royal sitting on a skateboard together rolling up and down driveways and little hills, and the same thing just on a way smaller scale. So in my mind, I'm always like, all right, I'm having my kids be at the skate park, because I grew up street skating and I grew up in the street just running, biking. Like, I can walk the majority of the sidewalks in Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
And even around Poway now and IB. Like, I can skate in the dark really quickly because I know where all the like bumps are at, and I know where berries are on the floor from the tree. I know where there's typically pebbles on the ground. Like, because I've traveled the road so many times, like, I know it now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, I really like that feeling of when my feet ride over the part that's like, or whatever, right? All these different little things. So I'm thinking, how can I recreate that for my baby before he's big enough to go cruise the streets or hit the skate park, you know? So I'm sitting here like trying to break down all the time, like, okay, but what's interesting is because we've done that, now Royal's bombing these hills and stuff that. And this is interesting because I catch this comment a lot, and people kind of get annoyed with me, but also get kind of inspired. I think they get annoyed with themselves, but then they kind of get inspired at the same time, where I am definitely somebody who can show you real proof that kids are capable of doing shit way earlier than we believe that they can. I'm also not afraid of my kids falling down and getting hurt and getting sick and getting dirty and all. I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. So I let them do that. I'm never trying to have my kid not. I'm like, careful, you know, if there's real, like, I notice sometimes I do that and I have to stop. It's like the quickest way to scare a kid and make him lose confidence in himself is, let's say he's climbing a fence. You're like, get down from there. You're going to hurt yourself. Like, what did you just create? He just got to the top without hurting himself. Why is he now going to hurt himself? Well, he's now going to hurt himself because you're yelling at him and you just told him he can't. So what are his chances of believing in him or herself that they can? You see what I'm saying? So I've been willing to let Royal fall down. I don't catch him. I let him fall. There's certain times, you know, but I let him fall. I let him take his tumbles. I let him understand how gravity and real life work. And within that, I just kind of applied that to sitting on a board with wheels or being on a board that floats across the water. Like me and Nate took Royal surfing when he was 8 months old for the first time. We lost our GoPro in the ocean that day, which is unfortunate because the most badass footage ever is on it. But, like, dude, we're able to introduce our kids to things way earlier than we think. Oh, and what I was going to say is how I notice sometimes there's like this offended, inspired sort of thing that happens when I'm out with Royal and he's doing stuff, and then people go, and like we have a conversation, oh, you got kids, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, how old's your kids? Like, oh, I got these, and I got like a 2-year-old at home or 2.5-year-old at home. And it's like, oh, cool. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, it's not. And this even happened yesterday. It's like, oh, yeah, he's 2.5. Like, my youngest not old enough to come out here yet. And I was like, oh. And they're like, oh, how old's your kid? I'm like, oh, 16 and 2. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, dang, if my youngest was here, probably they'd be going and playing and stuff. I was like, yeah, man, you know. And then all of a sudden, Royal is the same age as this other kid who's not old enough to be there. And then he's doing stuff that the kids who are old enough to be there, who are twice as old as him, Royal's pulling off these moves that these kids can't do. So it's kind of like this, what the fuck? Like, what just happened here? I believe that my kid's not old enough to be out here, but I see you and your kid ripping around the whole park. And it's like, that's kind of offensive, you know, because when I see people whose kids are fucking like talking and potty trained and all this like crazy stuff already, and they're super young, I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Like, and it kind of is like, why is it mine? How come I can't do that? What is it? You know, and it's kind of like there's a bit of like feeling offended for a moment because it's like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? What am I, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think that's what a parent who tries to be continuously better thinks anyway. You know, it's like, shit, what did I miss? You know what I'm saying? Is that a special gift or am I like behind? It just makes you think of that stuff. So I think what happens is it like reality and perception gets shattered, because if your reality is that 2.5 is too young to be here, and you see a 2.5-year-old being there and doing a bunch of crazy shit that you didn't even think was possible, you're kind of like, whoa, wait, what? Huh? Like, what just happened? Who's lying? Is this guy crazy because he brought his kid? Am I smart because I left mine? Am I an idiot because I left mine? Is this guy, you know what I'm saying? Is this guy extra smart for doing this or extra stupid? Is he like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, this can go so many different ways. So that's why I want to say shout out to Dr. Mark, my chiropractor over here in Poway. If you guys need a fucking amazing chiropractor and a dope ass guy, go see Dr. Mark on basically the corner of like Pomerado and Poway. He's amazing. The yellow and green building. He's the man. Tell him I sent you. But what he told me was like, there was one time, the first time I ever met him, actually, I was all nervous and it was from a car accident. And I had both the kids and Royal was way beyond his nap and he was just like, like falling out everywhere type of tired and just spazzing about everything. Like, I want this, and you give him it and he wants the next thing and he wants the next thing. And it's like, nothing is enough, right? If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just those times where it's like, they're mad because they don't have what they didn't even know what they wanted. And then as soon as you give them it, they're like mad that they have it. And then they're mad that you took it back. And then they're mad that they don't want it. And then it's just like, that's the shit that drives parents crazy. Anyway, Ro was having one of those days. And it's my first time meeting this dude. And I'm just like, shit. So, but the one thing, I started stressing, because I'm like, just chill, bro. And like, I could feel the eyes and I feel it, the whole thing, And he comes up and he's like, I'm going to tell you, just always remember and know that your kids are always perfect and exactly where they're supposed to be.
Damn, dude.
And I was like, fuck, man. Or no, I was like, dude, I absolutely agree, man. And then I kind of just sat there and I kind of let it sink in a little more because I could tell, like, he's one of these people, like my chiropractor, Dr. Mark, he's super, he's the type of guy where he'll let you dig your own hole with your words and you just know he's 10 steps ahead, whether he wants to be or means to be or not. He's one of those sort of people. So he just kind of like gave me the smirk, like, yeah, cool, bro. And then at the same time, it was like, he knew there was a little bit more moment that had to set in for me to get it, And I was just like, damn. And then he walked out of the room, did whatever, and came back. And then I shook his hand and looked at him. I was like, dude, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I gave him a real, like, damn, thank you, dude. Like, man to man, I appreciate that shit. Like, thank you, bro. I didn't call him bro. Like, I like, he's older than me, so I'm looking up to him in that sense. But, so I'm just like, yo, this is a trip. Raising kids is a trip. How people define being a good parent is very interesting. A lot of times just taking care of your kid and making sure they have some cute pictures every now and then, I think is what most people think it takes to be a good parent. But I think there's a lot more to it than that. But that's what people see. And I know I get compliments quickly over that. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I think it's really fascinating to dive into and look at. So we're going to take this even a little deeper into some other shit. And it's going to be kind of funny and really insightful at the same time. So what we're finna do is take a break. We're going to be, after these messages, we will be right back.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
Damn, dude. I'm calling Dan Candy. I put in my work. Got a $10,000 link medallion hanging on a $2,000 shirt. The gang being good. And all the hoes want to sit on leather in the wood. Because these bitches trying to price my diamonds because that shit is just so common. Anyways, what's good, guys? Welcome back. And, yeah, this is episode 86. 86. 86. What the fuck am I talking about, dude? Oh, if you see me looking all crazy on the camera, my hair is on a good one. And I got like workout clothes and shit. Like, This weekend, we went and picked some sage from some new hiking trails that we found around town. And if you are from Southern California and you don't know white sage plant, oh, it just smells so good. It's for cleansing, cleanses the energy, cleanses staleness, cleanses people's old little energies and like energy goo, energy residue, basically. You got some people who are just different people connect and attract different. Let's call it like, I'm gonna describe this very simply. Like, let's say people absorb and carry around different energies and different entities with them. How am I gonna say this like without being like this is completely woo woo, but I want it to make sense for people who are completely not also. So it's like there's people who just carry certain energies and certain vibe with them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's why when you have somebody who's acting like Eeyore and everybody else is acting like, oh hey, let's go on an adventure. It's like, man, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's up with homie? And like, you know, and it's like he's not trying to get better. He's sitting there fucking sending like paragraphs and paragraphs and then receiving paragraphs of text. It's like, nah, like bro's not in a good place. Get his head out of his ass or fucking find somebody else. You know, like I don't know. That was even funny, but so one thing that I believe in for being successful with raising kids and what it takes to be a good parent, because apparently a lot of people call me a good parent. Now, there's a lot of times where I don't feel like I am. I know I am because I always do the right thing, and I'm always willing to do the right thing, and I know that that is the bare minimum of being a good dad, and I do that. I don't think anybody can question that. So, you know, it's like I spend time with my kids. I listen to them. I have difficult conversations that need to be had. It's really interesting because Nate is 16 and I'm not saying this because he's my kid, but it's like he really is incredibly smart and incredibly compassionate and kind. And when he thinks I'm not paying attention or I'm not looking, I hear him and see him and doing positive things for people and helping people. And it comes from automatically from who he is. He's not trying. You know what I'm saying? Like he's legit not an asshole. He's legit not one of these dickhead type of dudes. Like he's so kind and compassionate that the other day we were running. So the whole time I've been able to outrun him. And then there was one day we went running a couple months ago and he fucking smoked me. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, oh, hell no. So I get pissed like, no, bro, you're fucking going down, dude. Like, you're not beating me again. I'm gonna fucking train every fucking day from now on. Like, I was pissed, pissed in that sense where I wasn't really mad. I just got competitive. And, oops. So the other day we were out running with Nate and I was like smoking him and I'm like, hey, what the fuck, bro? What happened? I was like, you got smoked, bro. He's like, yeah, man, like you got fast, dude. Like, man, good job. You've been working really hard, dude. That's really good. And I was like, no, stop being all like happy for me. Get pissed. Like, get fired up. Like, don't let me beat you. And he was like, yeah, but like, I really am happy that you got better. And I'm like, oh, dude, no, like, that's not how this works, bro. Like, you got to talk some shit, man. Like, I mean, he's no stranger to talking shit to people, but when it comes to like, he's like, he really cares. So he's not going to talk shit to me because he saw I legitimately am doing better. So he's like, he's not cracking jokes on me. And it's like, when he did better than me, I'm sitting there talking shit to him, like to encourage myself and encourage him and to kind of create like a fun banter. You know what I'm saying? So, but I see at the same time, I'm like, damn. Wow, maybe that's really not the truth because he really lived this way different than how I did. So I'm like, damn, he's just so kind and compassionate. I'm like, all right, how can I step up some sort of like competitiveness, like some of that? Because and I'm like, bro, get pissed. And he's like, no, like, he's like, see, I don't, like, we had a conversation the next day. He's like, dude, me getting pissed doesn't help me. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it has to. Like, I don't mean necessarily mad, but I mean like fired up. Like, come on, like, let's fucking go. He's like, no. He's like, it just makes me kind of think like, wow, what has he been doing to get that much better? And then I think, well, what can I do to like start getting better? And how did you do that? How'd you get there? I'm like, what the, like, bro, you're too fucking smart, man. Like, what the hell, dude? So it's funny because he is so smart and he's such a kind and genuinely good person. I would often encourage him to go get in trouble at school and like in a good way though. I'm like, bro, always question your teachers. Talk maximum shit, in a good way to where you actually learn. Not talking shit, but I mean like talk your shit, meaning ask questions, question shit, the same way you ask things or you're curious about things or the same way I tell you things. Inquire that way. Be inquisitive, go find out. So it's pretty cool because I gave him the book 75 Hard and he's going to go and read it and hopefully take that on, which is cool because I'm on day 6 of 75 Hard right now. Like, again, I got up to day 37 and the night of 38, and I accidentally took a little bite of this fucking wonton chip, and it reset me all the way back to fucking 0. Day 1, I should say. And I wasn't sure if this chip was fried or baked or this or that, and I was going to verify and this and that. I went to the brewery with my homies, and if for those of you guys who don't know, like, especially in Southern California, breweries have some of the bombest tasting food. It's always like super fatty, super greasy, super like extravagant, way over the top type of stuff. Like it's so good though, most of the times. So I went there and I'm not drinking because part of 75 Hard, no alcohol, no cheat meals, you know what I'm saying? And so on, and 2 45-minute workouts, gallon of water, the whole thing. So I'm there like, all right, no cheat meals and no alcohol, no problem. So I resist all the bomb food. I resist all the bomb beer. And at breweries in that setting, I like beer. I don't really enjoy beer. I don't really like beer that much, but in the right settings, in the right times, like a fucking super hoppy IPA, not fresh hops IPAs, I will fuck with those. Those are good. I love me some fresh hop IPAs. Anyway, that's why I grew a beard, just so I can kind of like those. Otherwise, I would just shave my shit soft as a baby bitch. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I resisted all the fucking bomb ass food, the bomb ass beer, and I'm like, I'm with my old homies, and it's like, fuck, dude. So I resisted all. I'm like, I order a fucking chicken salad from a fucking brewery. Like, who the fuck does that? I did. I'm like, all right, I'm doing good, man. I'm a fucking gangster. I got this shit, bro. Resisting temptation, making very conscious choices. They gave me my salad, and there's this fucking like wonton chip thing that's the size of like those like seaweed paper things you eat out of a little package, you know what I'm saying? Like the flavored ones. And I took a bite out of the corner of it, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, I already fucking got my salad. I already won, you know? It wasn't, the stupid little chip wasn't advertised. It wasn't on the picture. It didn't mention anything about it. I took one bite, felt the grease on my lips, and that fucking felt like I had like cheated on my fucking girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend and I've never cheated before, but what I mean is that like, that's what I imagine it felt like. Like it felt like if I kissed somebody and then just came home and was like, like I just feel it on me, you know, or something. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. So I felt dirty. That's what it was. It was like, it wasn't like something I was happy about. It was like, I felt dirty was the feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I just kept questioning and I didn't know. And I didn't admit to myself till later I got home. It's like an hour ride home on the motorcycle, maybe like 40 minutes. And I'm just bothered the whole time, dude. And I'm like, fuck is this? But I realized what it was my integrity. My integrity was challenged and pissed and had gotten out of whack. And when my integrity's off, like to me, that's everything. See, for me, having integrity to me means I'm willing to change the plan. I'm willing to do different shit when something else occurs in the face of it, right? So it's like I have integrity to certain outcomes, but at the same time, I'm willing to let it go. And that's part of my integrity. So I very, very heavily roll with vibes, chemistry, feelings, gut feelings. I'm not so much of like, I use thinking for different things. I use thinking in my brain to like sort out gut feelings and to sort out like chemical reactions and chain reactions or whatever the fuck, right? But that naturalness of when shit feels like that, I trust that more than I trust people's opinions and my own opinion and my own thoughts. I love to roll with the vibes and that feeling. I'm like, yo, this is what feels right. And that's what's led me to every piece of happiness in my life and to overcome every hardship is that it's like, all right, cool. Like I'm going to feel it and I'm going to just kind of keep going. Like I'm going to feel the pain. I'm going to feel the opportunity. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel all of it. I'm going to just keep my eyes peeled and just keep working, and just keep trusting my gut feeling and trusting my instincts and trusting what feels right. Because what feels right is not in like a weak, like druggy junk food type of way, but what feels right to your gut feeling in your heart and soul, not what feels right to your brain. And that's the difference. A lot of us confuse our bitch voice with our ego's voice, with our higher self's voice or our higher power's voice, however you want to call it. We mix them up and we don't know which one's coming from where, and we'll listen to the wrong ones and we'll trust the wrong things. And this is often why I say women's intuition is the highest source of intelligence that we have access to here, just in like general, is because a woman's intuition is far beyond a gut feeling. It's like this knowing based on certain feelings which come from somewhere other than the brain. It comes from like the source of life. And I think that that's why women's intuition is so the smartest thing, is because it's a message from life. It's a message from Mother Nature. It's a message from God. It's a message from the universe. It's not somebody's thought stuff. It's not a preconceived notion. Like a woman's gut feeling and intuition, I will trust any day over anything. So now since I've grown older, in the past like 2 years, I make it a conscious choice when I really, really do my best, I should say, to make sure I go and ask a couple women first, what do you think about this? What's your gut feeling? I don't want your opinion. I mean, you can give me your opinion, but I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm not asking for whatever. What does your gut tell you about this? And answer as fast as you can. And whatever the first thing is, tell me that. That's what I want to know. Whatever that first, like, does it strike you as, oh, feels good? Or does it strike you as like something twists, something tightens, my breath shortened, you know? Stuff like that. I pay attention to that shit. That's the smart shit. So what I realized is like, all right, how can I do that for myself as a man? And what I realized is the quickest access I have to it, to tapping into that source of life, is to face fears directly. So when I'm like afraid or unsure of something, I lean into that as heavy as I can, and I just go based off of how it feels in my gut, not what I think about it. Because a lot of dudes, we just think too much. We think from our brain. And we more so need to feel from our gut. You know what I'm saying? And then half the people aren't even there yet. Some of you guys still, a lot of us are still thinking with our dick. So, and you know that's true, man. Like it fucking happens. It happens to everybody. But the thing is like when you keep going to discover your feelings and how come and all these things, and you dive deep into your feelings and all the shit as a man, you kind of learn to understand those things. And it's like, all right, I realize it's just my brain and my balls going crazy as fuck right now. But then sometimes it's really like my gut and my like intuition is like, yo, like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I basically was like, you know, when you're like, yeah, then you're like, nah, then you're like, yeah, then you're like, nah. No, sometimes it's good to think with your dick. Sometimes it's good to think with your fucking exploratory passion and all that. Like, I mean, you think we kind of always should, but I think we should know our direction and know where to put it, and know where to direct it, know where to guide it, and know where to put this different energy and shit. So for me, it's like when I face my fears, I can kind of outthink my dick. Like some of you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm serious though. It's like I'm able to override like the horny ape, like the like the caveman, like or I should say via meditation, self-awareness, dissecting my thoughts, going back and looking at where I fucked up certain things, why I succeeded at certain things, why certain things got me certain things, why certain things didn't get me certain things. And then I take that information and I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing right now? Where are my actions and my intentions and my gut feeling versus my brain versus my bitch voice versus my ego voice versus my higher self voice? Which one is the balance? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, let's say you're thinking some perverted stuff, but you're on a path of like enlightenment, but at the same time, you're trying to like get involved in what's going on in society and trying to help out there at the same time. Like all of these worlds kind of can't exist seemingly at the same time. But the thing is, they all do exist for us. So it's like, I think it's a matter of just being present to them when we're there. You know what I mean? Because we're all going to feel shit. We're all going to think shit. We're all going to like have gut feelings and this and that. And we're all going to fucking like be thinking with our dick or thinking with our ego brain or thinking with just this wild, I don't give a fuck part of ourselves or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I know that when I face danger and I face pain and I push limits and I drop into half pipes and I skate around bulls and I do all these things that even though I retired, I'm like, yo, my kids are watching. And do I want my kids to be 35 years old and skating at the skate park? Or do I want them to be sitting behind the fence and being like, nah. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like, it's not like everybody knows how to skateboard or whatever. It's like, yeah, sometimes like a lot of parents, not even a lot of parents, like a lot of parents used to know how and they just stopped. And it's like, that's fine. Everybody has different activities. This is just my metaphor because it's what I like to do. So I think that I've been trying to be very aware of my actions in front of my kids. So that was why we had to like have me and my ex's relationship split. Because I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be that example for my kids. I'm not going to be unhappy and stay together for the kids, because that is only a disaster. I've never seen that work out good for any single person or family ever. Excuse me. So I think that when we choose to like really listen to ourselves and what we really want, and when we actually take the time to figure out what we want, because a lot of people just want something different. They're just unhappy with where they're at or their situation, and they want something different. But then it's like, as soon as you have something different, you're like, oh, well, I want that again, or I want this, or the next thing, or the next thing, or the next thing. So when we actually take the time to discover who the fuck we are, what we're afraid of, what we're willing to do, the risks we're willing to take, the chances we're willing to take, how much we're willing to listen to our gut feeling versus our brain versus common sense versus logic versus spirituality versus intuition. Like, all these things should weigh in before we make major life decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, I pretty much had to come out of retirement from skateboarding to show my kids how to do it. Because at some point, I found myself, even before Roy was born, I found myself with Nate like, bro, just drop in. It's easy. Just stomp the bolts and lean forward. That's all it takes. And he's like terrified and doesn't know how to do it. And I'm just like, bro, it's easy. Come on. It's super easy. But the thing is like, dude, if it's that easy, why don't I get up there and do it? You know what I'm saying? It must not be that fucking easy if I don't just stand up and go do it. If I don't climb up there and do it. So that's where I'm like, okay, even though I've been banned by 2, 3, or 4 doctors from skateboarding ever again, I'm like, you know what? It's fucking worth it. I'm going to come show my kids what it looks like and how to fucking skateboard. Like, let's go, homie. So,
damn, dude.
You know what I mean? So I'm not afraid to go get hurt with my kids. I'm not afraid to, dude, my kids have seen me fucking eat shit, dude. Like, they seen me fucking yard sale myself. Like, Nate's seen me yard sale myself. If you don't know what that is, it's when you eat shit so hard that like your shoes and your hat and your glasses and all your stuff just like scatters across the yard like you're having a yard sale. Like, that's getting yard saled. And I've gotten yard sailed a few times in front of both my kids where they were like, damn. I'm just like, dude, are you okay? I'm just like, homie, let's fucking go. Like, let's go again. And that fighting spirit in me, dude, I refuse to let it die. I refuse, man. Like, I love that inner warrior, that dork, that whatever the fuck that is, that's willing to talk shit and also willing to have respect and willing to have fun and willing to wild out and willing to take the chances. Yeah, I've broken over 64 bones and you know what I'm saying? It's like, am I supposed to stop doing stuff? No. I know, like, now I have more information on how to not get hurt again. Because a lot of shit that I learned, nobody ever fucking showed me. I just figured it out myself and I got hurt every way possible until I'm like, oh. And for so long, I would just pretend I knew what I was doing rather than actually learning to do it. Because it was like, in most cases, you can put me somewhere, not tell me anything, give me a couple seconds or minutes, and I can kind of like at least do the job or like get it done. You know what I'm saying? And I would do that, and it was enough to get me by. And then I would use personality and charisma to like cover the rest of my work that I wasn't able to do. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. There's a lot to this people skills, but people skills have to do with having self skills, knowing your abilities, knowing your limits, knowing what you're willing to do and not do, knowing when to call somebody else to help you out, knowing when to get an expert for it, knowing when to step back or let off or whatever, or step on the gas. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to 86 all the bullshit because fuck it, dude. Like, we're at a point where the whole internet flex, the whole, oh, Karen's gonna freak out, the whole, all this, it's done, dude. Fuck those people. I took a poll earlier. I'm like, yo, is anybody I know on here, or does anybody personally know anybody who hates an entire race of people personally? Yes or no? And it's interesting because I need to go check back with the poll, but it's like, really? Yes, there's people. There's certain random old people here and there who hate whole groups of people. But I'm trying to find like a real measure. You know, it's like, who in my community hates a whole race of people? Because it's like all the shit going on is so exaggerated. So it's fucking crazy, dude. So I encourage everybody, take chances, have fun, be smart at the same time. Take risks that are worth taking risks for. You know what I'm saying? Weigh that out. Go have fun. Go outside. More kids and more people need to go the fuck outside. And I don't mean driving stupid in their car, turning right with the left blinker on. I mean, go walk, go play, go to the park, go to the skate park, go do stuff. With that being said, I don't know if I have enough time to go run before work or not. Whether I do or not, I'll get my second workout in. But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. My apologies for it coming a little bit late. It has been a doozy of a day and a day of a doozy and a dollar short of a submarine and a newsie. So make sure you kick back with a jacuzzi and I don't know, with a pocket full of poozies. Oh shit. All right, you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Rooster Tail, take us out. Much love. Peace.
90 miles push away.